I hope my Wi-Fi is connected. Are you coming in? Come on in. Hey, everybody. Come on.
Alright.
No, no drinks in here. You gotta take your drink out. No drink. No drinks. You gotta get a bottle of water. No cups allowed. No. Yeah. Hey, everybody. Hey, everybody. Hey, everybody. Hey, Amara. Hey, Nika. Hey, everybody. Come on in. Come on in. Come on in. How are y'all? Hey, Lisa. So good to see you. Let me get me some music going up here. How was y'all day? I know, right? Much different than what you saw me on yesterday. I know everybody's like, wait, you just posted your beautiful pictures? Thank you, thank you, thank you. I know, y'all. My head. Let me change my music real quick. Hey, Tanya, I missed you guys. I missed y'all. I know those that are joining me now that saw me over the weekend are like, oh my gosh, she changed often. If you know me, I change my hair often. And some people don't even know I have hair. I have a lot of hair. I have a lot of beautiful hair. I just like different styles. And thank you, Amara, you like it? You know, I'm all about that beautifully me type of thing. Hey, Sean, welcome. How are you? Hey, everybody. Come on in tonight. I'm going to have Doc A come on in like I'm a little sticky note. In the closet with me. He thought he was going to bring some drinks up in my space. And that's the one thing about when you have your own space. You can control what people bring in your space. You can control what people do in your environment. And I like it. So he got ready to come in here with a cup. No shoes are allowed in my prayer closet. And no cups. Bottled water? Yes. Shoes? No. Hey, Trenda. Thank you so much for joining. Hey, guys. Tonight, we're going to talk about commitment. The lie and the truth. I just posted about that on Facebook. What did you post, Amira, on Facebook? I didn't catch it. Tell me, what did you post? Everybody, go ahead and share. If you know people that are in relationships, thinking about relationships, thinking about getting married, tonight is a night they really, really want to be on, because this weekend we have the opportunity to visit family. We had a fabulous time loving on those. And most of them follow us on Nightcap and Wake Up in the 6 o'clock broadcast with Doc A. And so we got a chance to love on them a little bit. Carry over the that's right, Kiki. We're getting ready to carry over the conversation, because I was sitting here trying to figure out what to talk about with you guys, and I didn't want to force anything. Normally, if God doesn't give me anything, I don't try to make it up and be like, oh, God said this, that, and the third. It's just like, okay, well, this is what Doc C want to talk about tonight, or I won't even come on at all, because I don't play with God, and I don't play when he speaks and when he doesn't speak. So tonight is going to be more of a heart message from my heart, Doc A's point of view, to you all, our viewers, those that watch us and follow us on Tuesday and Thursdays at 9, and then on 6 o'clock Monday through Friday, you can catch Doc A with Wake Up. So tonight's topic for Nightcap, and I know I normally have my hair tied up some kind of way, but I still have some type of cap on my head, because like I said, I've been having headaches, like right there in the top part of my head, and then it's been shooting to my eyes. So I'm not sure if I need to go to the eye doctor or what it is, but I've just been having this excruciating pain in my head for the last 2 weeks. And so what I decided to do was, Doc A had to remind, you got to turn this kind of loud. What Doc A reminded me was, it was like, hey, you've had your hair tied down and sewed in.
Thank you.
And braided for the last couple of months, since about, I think maybe about February, around March. My hair has been pressed down, and so I don't know if it's been the tension from the braids, if it's been tension from the sewings. I don't know what it is. So I have a different kind of night thing on tonight, just giving my hair space, some room, my hair to be free for a little bit. So you may see me rocking this for the rest of the week, just to allow my hair to breathe, because I have beautiful hair and I never want to lose my hair. And no, I'm not bald around the edges. Those who will think like, oh, she don't have no hair around the edges. Like, I have hair. So don't think I don't have any hair. I have lots and lots of beautiful hair. And so tonight you get to see that with us. So thank you to all of our first time Nightcappers. Welcome to the village. Normally on Tuesday and Thursday night, you get me with some type of inspiration about life. I gotta remember this thing. I broke it down. That you have to, I'm on here, and what I do is I give you inspirations for the night to kind of help you unwind from the day, kind of share with you some topics and things that's on my heart that God wants me to encourage you about and to motivate you to press forward and start again another day. With two bodies in here, it gets
It's
warm.
real hot. Yeah.
One body, I'm good, but two bodies.
That's why I asked you if you wanted to do it in your closet.
I want to do it in my closet, in my space, but we may have to crack the door. That's getting a little hot up in here. He getting all this little light. But anyway, thank you. Go ahead and share. I didn't tag anybody. I tagged them earlier, so I didn't go ahead and do all that extra share. So those that are on here, if you know people who are in relationships and they think they're committed, but you know otherwise, if they're in a relationship all by themselves, tonight is the night you definitely want to have them tune in to this broadcast. Why? Because Doc and I were having a conversation with some young adults.
Ooh, yes.
Yeah, that's a little bit better because the air.
Ah.
We were having a conversation with some young adults this weekend, and Doc A and I was talking on the way back about commitment and the way men think about commitment versus the way we as women think about commitment. Brought some enlightenment to myself and to some females that's around, and we're like, wait a minute, that's not right. Y'all misleading, y'all leading people on. So we want to talk about that tonight. So any first time visitors, any first time guests on Nightcap, go ahead and say hello. Let us know where you're from. Everybody in the village tonight, go ahead and say hello to your sisters and brothers that you haven't seen, your friends that you haven't talked to all week. Go ahead and say hello to everybody. Mo, what's up, Mo? Thank you for joining.
Mo who? Maurice, what's up, bro? How are you, man?
So we're going to talk about commitment. So what we
Let's be
want
sure.
to
Have you
do
told
is
everybody to
if
share
there's
with 10?
First time guest. That's something that you normally say about share with 10. I don't know about share with 10. I'm just excited people are on here, and if you want to share, feel free to share. Get them on. But I'm not results driven. That's the difference between Doc A and I.
So that means you gotta let me add to the pudding. So check this out. You all know the culture. Let's be sure to share. If you love a friend, Willis, what's up, man? If you love a friend, share with 10. But listen, ensure that some of them are men. Share. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to check the shares and see how many people. We have 22 people on here, so I want to see how many people will share. So listen, if you on this line, that means you love us, you love our heart, and you're not a hater. The only way you don't share is if you are a hater. So let's share. We have 25 people. I'm going to share. If you're a hater,
in the village,
look,
haters mean there's division.
No, that means
no divisions.
if they don't share,
all about the love,
if they don't share, see people dropping off. See that they need to share.
No,
so listen, share.
Thank you, Nika, for sharing.
Share.
Thank y'all for sharing.
Keep sharing.
Keep sharing. Keep
sharing.
sharing.
Let's break a record tonight.
And as you feel like you want to share and tag people, go ahead and do that, as I was saying. So let's get this thing kicked off, right? So we were driving back. We went to visit to a cousin of my graduation this weekend. And so as we were coming back, he meaning Doc A, and I started having this conversation about commitment. And it struck me because most of the time when you get in relationships, people say, okay, we are exclusive, right? We're dating now. It's you and me. And so we're going to commit to one another in the relationship. And so from a female's perspective, because we're smart and we're brilliant, we know the definition of commitment. We understand the definition of exclusive. Then we often assume that our definition and terminology of commitment, our definition and understanding of exclusive is the same as the males. And so oftentimes with over the last couple of months, Brandon, great to be in this discussion, guy. Come on, this is going to be good. You ran from this discussion this weekend, so I want your points tonight, Brandon. I want your points. So we were talking about how men and women have different ways of talking about what exclusive mean to a male and what exclusive mean to a female. So for me, we were talking and I'm like, how can you be in a relationship with a person if Doc and I are talking and we're dating and it's like, okay, we're going to cut everybody off. We're going to commit to just us. Why would it even cross your mind to still entertain other females on the cell phone? Or why would you entertain by going to meet them privately after hours? Why would you go and meet them and
she got mad, y'all.
Why do you not understand? Are you like that dumb that you don't understand what exclusive and commitment is? Or was I misled? So he started telling me that the problem is that women
need to wake up. Women, y'all need to wake up.
I said, you know what? Tonight gonna be the topic that I'm gonna bring all the heat and all the revelation to my nightcappers, my villagers.
You better share.
Because, yeah, you see that necro, Nika, right? It's
I'm
like,
gonna tell you, you better get the people. Listen. Let me say something real quick.
We about to save some relationships.
I'm gonna say something real quick
tonight. We about to save some marriages.
We're trying to get people on. Listen, if you know people that are going through relationship issues and they don't know what commitment is, and you wonder why have they been together for 25 years and never been married? The reason why they've been together for 25 years and never been married, because in the man heart is a major difference of my commitment versus the commitment of the woman. Major difference. And so we want to open up tonight talking about, it took us 40 minutes? We drove from Greenwood, Mississippi, 45 minutes. And so we created a conversation with one young male that we knew that was supposed to be committed to a young woman. And so we was talking about how even myself, I tell even, I'm sorry, I love my future, hopefully, I don't care, daughter-in-law, but listen, this is what I tell my son, and I always tell him this, and I'm gonna tell my daughters this too as well. So if your son ever date my daughter, and whoever it is, I'm always gonna ask my son and my daughter, are you sure that this is the one? Have you reassured and checked around to make sure that this is the one? And the reason why I use this, and let me make sure that I'm clear, I'm not telling my son to go and have sex with other women. I'm telling him to make sure that he check and double check, because once he say that I do, he's married forever, ever, and forever, ever, and forever, ever. Forever, it never ends. And so before you make that commitment, you better check, because listen, God presents the females to us. So Dr. C was presented to me when I was at college, and there was other females that came in front of me, and so she always tell this story.
That's how it was back then.
Right. But no. Let me finish. But she always tell this story that, you know, she walked past me and she ignored me. No, it was other women that walked past too as well, and I had to pay attention to them, and I saw them. Dr. C walked by. It was other women that walked by, but I end up not even paying attention to those women, and Dr. C caught my eye. And so when Dr. C caught my eye, she gonna walk by and I say, oh, you're gonna speak to everybody else, but you didn't speak to me. So
Wait, what?
Look, I did tell you. You spoke to everybody else and you didn't speak to me. I said that.
Oh, I thought you said I said the statement of you.
But check this out. Check this out. She said that she didn't see me, but I still had game to make her turn her eye to pay attention.
I did not.
So check this out. She didn't see me at all, but I said this one statement. This is when you know you have game. I said this one. I was a freshman. You were supposed to be graduating.
That's not game. Not that much.
You like 4 years older than me.
Don't start lying.
So check this out. You like 4 years older than me. Listen. So check this out.
Don't lie in my press.
So check this out. That's my son. So listen. No. Hold on. All right, God forgive me. All right, keep on. But listen. She walked past me, but there was other females that walked past me too. So I paid attention to all the females. I walked past. They know I'm loud. I walked past all the other females. She just won the lottery that day. She just won the lottery that day. So it was all game in order for me to lock her down, because the only thing I needed her to do was to pay attention. When she paid attention, well, she wasn't at that time, but when I caught her attention, then it was on, because the next time she saw me, it's like y'all heard her talk about that navigator. Y'all heard about her talking about that navigator. So every time I came by, then she paid attention to me, just like that navigator. Yeah, y'all see it? Y'all remember she talked about the navigator when she thought about the navigator? I just gave her the ability to see me one time, but I still had options that walked past, but I chose her. And when I chose her, she saw me. And when she saw me,
I ain't won no lottery. He won.
She won. No. Yeah, that's right. She won the lottery. There you go,
I mean,
Cam. There you go.
It's
Listen.
not about to
So
be-
when she walked
no,
past me,
hold on, this is my prayer closet. This is not about.
Oh, you gonna take Trump?
This not.
How she gonna take Trump?
Look, this is my show up in here. Men, do not start siding with Doc A. He did not win the lottery.
I'm glad I got. I didn't win. You won the lottery. You won the lottery. I picked you.
No,
I picked you. No, you did not pick me. I picked you. No, you did not.
I had to say I do. When you take a vow, don't you have to say
No,
I do?
I'm talking about
You
before
say
then.
I say I do.
I'm talking- so-
we both say I do.
so let me-
So he chose me because he saw me and wanted me, and so he had to get my attention. So
No.
therefore, he won the lottery
So
because he was about to pass up the millions that was walking past.
So
him.
when you get a lottery ticket, you get several different numbers on a lottery ticket.
Look, Reggie said, "Who won the lottery?"
You get several different numbers on a lottery ticket.
Not that kind
So
of
check
lottery.
us out.
You already trying to get money.
You get several different numbers on lottery. But anyway, let's fast forward to what we were talking about. So I was telling her this. Even though my son, I know he's maybe I'm sorry
He
trying
is
to
committed.
I'm sorry trying to be on here.
He's
but listen.
committed. Trying to don't let
Any woman, any male that connects with my son or my daughter, listen, I always ask them the question, are you sure that she is the one? Have you had a chance to have conversations with other women just to double check and to double check? Because if I am the one to walk you through marriage and you're committed, then that's it. And so what I was telling Dr. Steve, she's like, well, why are you gonna tell him to look around and to you marry me loud? I can't cool down. That's
it don't
something.
have to be loud because it's echoing.
This is nightcap and wake up. Wake up is loud. Wake up ain't quiet. Wake up is loud. So, and this we opposite. You trying to make me be you? I'm loud.
Stay focused.
So I am focused. So when it comes to the point, all my men, check this out. All right, let's be honest. All right, let's check this out. If you don't say that you're not committed out of your mouth, that means you're not committed.
Is that true, guys?
10 minutes.
Give me some feedback. I got a lot of guys on here.
Fellas, come on.
Because when you say we're going to be in a relationship and we commit to one another, the females think you are committed. So honestly,
Relationship and commitment is different.
Out of your mouth, when you say, okay, we're going to be, are you guys really thinking on the other side, like, is this the lie that you're giving? You're giving off
It's
a
not a
false
lie.
truth. It is a lie.
It's not a lie.
Because you're saying, okay, we're going to be in a relationship together, but you still checking out the market.
But a relationship is the same. If I say that I have a friend.
I want to know the guys on here.
If I say.
What did Latron say? I didn't even see what he said. What did Latron say?
I can look at my other phone so I can look at it and see what everybody's saying on here. No, don't message your comments there. Let me look at my phone.
Y'all both won. Oh, Tron said we both won.
Okay.
I guess.
So check this out.
But is that true, guys? Like, tell us. Like, when you say...
If I don't say I'm committed.
Okay, if you don't say
if
you're
I don't
committed.
say that, if a male doesn't listen, women, if a male doesn't say out of his mouth that I'm committed to you, that I'm only exclusive to you, it doesn't mean he's committed. If he goes through the motion and you're in a relationship, but the male never physically says it out of his mouth, he's not committed.
Is that true, guys? Tell me yes or no. Tell me, is that true?
I would say what I had to say to get what I wanted. Oh! Oh! See? Oh!
So, okay,
Hold on. If you ask to be in a relationship with a female, what does that mean? It doesn't mean commitment or relationship.
So, right, Kiki, exactly. So the female, Kiki is saying, okay, if you ask to be in a relationship with a female, then what does that mean to you? But Mo just said he would only say whatever it took to get into whatever he really wanted.
Right.
So I'm like,
that's player one-on-one. And people fall for that every time.
They are just words, family. No, but no, I'm for real. Like, people really believe, like, people really act like, no, I'm glad you said that, Mo, because we have young women that always, like, we get ready to start our family series, right? And people, one of the things that our singles said that they want to know is, why are most men afraid to commit? What is the deal? Like, I got young, successful women, business women, have their master's degree and everything. They on point. They like boss. They are the GOAT, like in the females lane. But the problem is, hey Shaka, thank you for joining. We're really just getting started, so you're good, girl. So what happens is that the women are ready, but the men are lying. Like, you ready to commit,
you can't say it's a lie. It's not a lie if a male doesn't if I don't look you in your eye and say that I'm committed to you and I'm not going to talk to no other women. Then just because I spend time with you, the women get to a point where you think that I'm only committed to you. But if I didn't physically say out of my mouth, it doesn't mean anything. It's not valid to a man. Some men don't want responsibility. That's true. Some men don't want responsibility.
So this is what we're talking about. This is the discussion. The absence of the truth is a lie. Come on, Carmen, tell him. It is what it is. It's a lie. So when you're getting in these relationships, right? And you're saying, okay, we're gonna date one another. You ready to be? It's gonna be me and you. So I think the problem is we're not really terminologizing. What is it? Putting the right terminology or asking the right questions, because what happens is
the right questions.
We're saying being afraid and being ready is two different things. That is true. But I think the problem is that when we get into these relationships, we don't really ask the right questions.
There you go.
We don't really find out what the other person is thinking.
And what are the expectations?
And what are the expectations, right? So from a female's perspective, you jumping in a relationship thinking, okay, yeah, I've been talking to this boy, whoop to whoop, we've been kicking it, we've been chilling for about 3 weeks, we've been chilling for about a month. And so so when you talking to this person, you like, okay, so we good? Like, so what we doing? And they like, oh, we good, we good, we chilling. So from their perspective, they're saying, oh, we good, we chilling.
Hold on, let me fake, because Sheila's saying hard. She say some men don't want to be in a relationship because they're afraid what their friends might say. No, that's not true. That's not true. Some men don't want to be. Some men don't want to be. Come on in, join the conversation.
My closet's about to get tight, y'all.
Look, some men, we can get tight in here. Come on, because I want my son's perspective. Listen, some men is.
You got shoes on? No shoes on.
No, take your shoes off. So look, it doesn't mean that they are afraid of commitment. It's just because they know that we are not going to say things out of our mouths that we're going to be held responsible to. It doesn't mean we're afraid. A lot of men are not afraid of commitment. They just know what commitment means. That's not a fear tactic. It's just, I don't want to be locked down, so I'm not going to say that I'm locked down to you because I'm still weighing my options. And so, but again, let me make sure I'm clear. I'm not saying that men should go and have sex with all these multiple women. What I'm saying is, before you lock down, before a man says he's committed, then it's okay for him to talk to other women and to have other friends, but not to be locked down unless he say it out of his mouth that I am locked down and you are the only one I'm going to deal with. If you don't want to say it, don't go through it's not going through the motions. All my women, she's saying if you don't want to say it, don't go through the motion.
It's because you're getting stuck between two sexes. Women are different from men.
Come on.
Women are people of words, or so they feel like, or emotions, so they feel like they don't even have to say it because they know deep down they're feeling it. Men are completely different. We're black and white, so we have to say it to make us committed, because in reality, if we don't say it, then for us it's not existent.
There you go.
It's just there. I'm just cooling with you. I never said I was committed to you. I never said, I wanted this to be something real. Then we never accepted it for us. So this is just us going through the motion. Mm-hmm. For women, it's emotional until they think like, oh, he actually loves me.
With time.
He wants to be with me. Exactly.
And see, but that's good because, okay, so let's look at some of the comments we got, right?
Okay.
So we got some comments that says, okay, he can be committed to you and still play the field. Okay, that's by Ebony. And then you already read Sheila. Amira said, we are not asking the right questions, or better yet, asking the men or women that they think relationship or commitment is, or is there even a difference between assumption or jump to conclusion?
See that one first. Why lead a woman on instead of just saying it up front?
Yep.
So,
women say that all the time, but when a guy does say something, they get their feelings hurt and then ask themselves, why did I even try to do it in the first place?
Right.
But see, here's the thing. But when you get into
I'm gonna forget it. Let me say it. I'm gonna forget it. Let me say it. Listen, okay. Cam, very good question. Very good question. So check this out. I can't wait for this time. Let's see what happening. Check this out. So this is what women have to realize.
Karen said, why lead a woman instead of just
that's true. Why lead a woman? But check this out. Women, if you don't ask the question, the man is not going to give you the answer voluntarily.
They don't think you think about it.
They don't think you're thinking about it. So what has to happen in a relationship, you have to make sure you ask the man. If you are in this relationship for a while, you have to ask him, listen, I like you. I dig you. We've been together for a while. What are we doing? What does this relationship mean? Are you committed to me? And if he answers you, then you know at that point you have your commitment. But if you just go through the motions, you go through the movie, you go to the movies, you're going out to dinner, you're having coffee, you spending time together, but it was never a verbal commitment. And women, if you never ask this question, what happens is women assume. And men, we think, but we don't speak. So if you assume, then a lot of times when you're assuming that the relationship is something that it is really not, then that's when you get hurt. But ask the question. Ask the question.
And see, that's the point. So this is what they're saying. If you ask the question, men are going to run.
Absolutely.
But this helps you keep from having the headaches, ladies. I don't think we really pay attention to how fast we emotionally attach to people because we want to be in a relationship and we're tired of being by ourselves.
So now you're stuck between, if they ask the question, they want to run. So do you want to keep sucking blood?
Right. So you just let the leech keep sucking blood because you so desperate to have a boy or a man in your life. Then you don't want to ask the questions because you know if you ask him what we doing, he gonna tell you, oh, we just chilling, and that's gonna hurt your feelings because you don't want to have just that. And so look, Nadra said this. She said there are two aspects here. Are you talking about in Christ or in the world relationship? Nadra, to be honest, the same thing that the church is doing, the world is doing.
No difference.
They don't want to tell the truth. But the same thing happening in the world is happening in the church. And most often, you got a lot of women in the church getting hurt and misled because you got the men in the church. Get a pet dog.
She said, shoot, if I'm giving you my time, we're together. See, that's the mistake.
And that's the problem.
That's the mistake. That's the mistake.
But hold on, we're going to address Nikki's thing. So see, the thing is, Nadra, what's happening is the church is that women are coming up and getting involved emotionally with men that haven't even committed to us yet. So because we're in the word and because we're in church, we're like, oh, God brought this man. Oh, he brought him by my past. Oh, he taking me out to eat. Oh, he bought me this. Oh, he bought me that. Oh, he wine and dine me. Oh, he treat me right. We together. But the problem is, by the time he finished with you at night, when he get home, he on the phone with somebody else, but you think you committed.
I go to church too.
And he go to church.
And he
on
pay
the
his
other
tithes.
side. On the other side. And he paying his tithe. So is he lying? No, he is not lying because you didn't ask the question, is it just me and you? Are we going full speed ahead with just a commitment between us? Or are you assuming in your head, are you having false expectation that you're in a relationship with somebody that's in a relationship with somebody else?
Yeah.
So it's going on in both. And women are the same way. You have some men, because we found out this weekend, you got men as well that get caught up in women who in the church, sitting next to them in the church, thinking they with them in the whole time. They got somebody else running through the door. And not just them, they got the opposite sex running through the door. So it's hellified in the world, it's hellified in the church. So at some point, I thought we need to talk about this because we got to wake up in nightcap.
Wake up!
We got to wake up in nightcap because you've been dumbified. You've been walking around like a zombie, sleeping and sexing and laying up with somebody that ain't even committed to you.
What did Cam say here? Cam said what? Cam said, as a man, if we're doing all that, I'm spending time and money with you. You ain't got to ask no questions. I'm with you. So that's a different perspective. So that's Cam. So
what did Cam say?
Cam said, if I'm spending all my time with you and I'm spending my money with you, then I'm with you. In some aspects, some men will spend all their money on you and give you all their time so they can get one thing.
Well, all time, I understand. I don't know about money because, with this world, funds run a little slim.
So they spending money, then that's a commitment.
Yes.
Okay, so if they're spending, but is that really true? If I spend money, does that really mean I'm committed? Because I can buy flowers for you and buy flowers for somebody else. I'm spending money.
But see, okay, so look, check this, right? Also, and Cam said, as a man, if we doing all that and I'm spending time and money with you, you ain't got to ask no questions, I'm with you. But see, the problem is, Cam, what I found out this weekend, we ran across some men that was like you, right? That everybody don't have a player mentality. We found that out, that all men are not
the same.
And Cam is a lawyer guy, so he's loyal.
So you just said you want a lawyer guy, because... Not now, but talking about previous women dating.
All men are different.
But this is the thing. So we ran across men that said, you know what? I cannot talk to more than one female at a time. My conscience.
Brandon said the same thing. So Brandon agrees. So we got Brandon and Cam in the same group.
Right.
Okay,
so we ran across people that said, my conscience just can't.
See, look at Shaka. Heck no, that's not a commitment. Because I can spend my money.
Right, but that's what I was finna say. You can have when you have me, and then see, these are the good men that end up getting mistreated by bad women.
Because it goes into back, savages.
It's the same. Whereas a man would do it. Now the female, because you're good, she's the one you should be asking the questions, but you just assume because you spending your money, you wine and dining, and you taking her out. We in a commitment, and she ain't committed to you. Yep. So then later you find out you've been played, and now your heart is hurting, and now you want to be a player for the next season.
Chris said for a cheetah flowers are cheap at Walmart. Yep. So they can spend. So check this out. I'm gonna give you this. If you say, listen, okay, I'm gonna go back this. If you say that a man gives you time and spend money on you, that's an automatic sign of a commitment. So what about a sugar daddy?
Or sugar mama. You got
Or
sugar
sugar
babies.
mama.
You got a lot of
They
sugar
have
babies
plenty
out
of
there.
money. You have older men that have plenty of money. They're gonna spend all their money on you just so they can get one thing. Does that mean commitment? It doesn't mean commitment. So again, it draws down, but you have to ask the question. And then some
That's
men,
right, TK.
some men, if you ask the question, they will still lie. But you have to take the. So what the issue is, most women, if a man gives you time, you automatically assume that this relationship is exclusive. Somebody asked the question between what's the difference between an exclusive and a relationship, I believe. So exclusive now in the modern time. You want to explain to MJ? That's your thing.
Okay. So exclusive is basically like a butt buddy.
A butt buddy.
Most people know what a butt buddy is.
Okay. What's a butt buddy?
Exclusive basically means this. We together, we gonna talk, we gonna hang out, we gonna do whatever. But
I'll take me a sugar daddy.
it means we together, we gonna hang out, but at the end of the day, you for me, it's basically things like a relationship, like boyfriend and girlfriend, but y'all don't have the title. That's what exclusive means. So y'all can go on and do whatever you
Oh,
want
that's
to do.
good. Say that last piece again. You exclusive, but you don't have a title?
Yes, that's what exclusive means. We together, but we don't have a title. Because most people are afraid of relationships because either their parents or somebody in their family has gotten a divorce. They don't believe in relationships. They don't think it's going to work. So they just get exclusive.
Hey, Melissa.
Basically have the same feelings, but don't have a title to it because they're too afraid of that emotional attachment.
And so, how long does it take you to get a title?
He said a butt buddy.
It's not called a butt buddy, but I'm going to say butt buddy.
How long does it take you to get a title? Because I think in relationships, like in your 20s and even in your 30s, because you want to be in a relationship, you don't even really find out how long. You don't ask the questions, okay, so how long we gonna keep doing this before we decide we're gonna be committed to one another? We're going to be boyfriend and girlfriend, if that's what you call it, or if we're gonna be exclusive. How long does it take before you actually ask that question? Because some of the posts I'm looking at, they're saying that as you mature, you begin to ask those questions. Well, oftentimes when you're in your late 30s and 40s, people are still not asking those questions. Why? Because like when Doc and I was talking, he was saying, okay, well, when we said that we were going to commit to one another and date before we got engaged, he was still entertaining other females and stuff on the phone and stuff. And I'm like, you liar. You supposed to be committed to me. And so we had this whole discussion about that part. And so he was like, no, it wasn't until I put a ring on you and committed to you verbally out of my mouth that we were actually together. And see, but to me, because we were spending time together, but to me, because we had been dating and hanging out and doing all this stuff, I assumed. See, most of us don't want to act like we assume stuff. You have falsified data based off of experience that made you build a case that was never there. And so now when we're counseling people, I'm actually training and talking to them, and I'm like, you built a falsified case. Did he give you this information? Why? Well, I thought we was just, you thought. Oh, I thought we was just, did you ask? No, I didn't want to ask. And so when I was asking him, I said, well, why didn't you ever ask me if I was talking on the phone with somebody? He said, because I didn't want to know.
Didn't want to know?
That's the difference of some men. They're not going to ask the women because they don't care if you sleep. They don't want to know if you're sleeping with somebody else. They don't want to know if it's just you and them. That's not on their radar until they actually commit. And even then, they don't even want to know those answers. So at what point and period do you actually think it's okay to commit to somebody? Y'all need to be answering this, because some of y'all messing around with people that y'all been talking to for 3 and 4 years and they still ain't committed to you, and you wonder why you up there and you married and stuff going on. They never committed. They didn't commit in the relationship during the dating. They didn't commit to you when you got engaged, and they definitely didn't commit and take a vow of oath when you walked down the aisle. So you stuck because you based all of your life off of assumptions that was never addressed.
Wow.
So when do you address, when is it time to give a title? Y'all talk to me. Tell me what's going on.
Go ahead.
I want them to respond too.
What was the question again?
I have a title.
We talking babies, the first date. Shoot, I'm 43. I ain't nobody time. See, right, because people don't have time to play games no more.
Okay. So what was the question again? Put the question back up.
How long should you be talking to somebody before you start talking about titles? Y'all tell me, what do y'all think?
6 to 9 months.
6 to 9 months.
This boy said it takes 6 to 9 months before he even think about giving somebody a title.
Wow, that's a long time.
Because somebody can play the
said
role
6 to 9
for a
months.
long time, and you really don't know a person until after 6 to 9 months.
That's true. See, this is coming from a different male perspective. But a woman, if you're spending time with her, you're going to the movies, you go out to lunch, you spend the money. See, Tasha said 4 months. You said 6 to 9 months. Tasha said 4 months. Why?
So if you and Tasha was to get together, within 4 months, she'll be thinking that y'all are in a committed relationship, and he still got 2 more months to go before it even crosses his mind.
Get cut quick.
And then that's why some people don't answer your text messages and phone calls no more, because they think you're a bugaboo because you ready to lock down when they still got 2
Somebody
more.
said they giving them 60 days.
Amira said 60 days. Amira's like,
Okay,
no.
so Jasmine asked the question.
Jeremiah
Jasmine
said, okay, so Jeremiah, he's the guy, he says there is no set time.
see, we got unlimited data.
So we're like, when is it a set time to start giving titles and talking about commitment? He like, there is no time. It's when I, so
It's because everybody's different. Everybody has a time. Some people are more eager to be in relationships than others. And when you get so eager to be in a relationship, that's how you get hurt. And I've been one of those people searching for love and searching for a relationship and gotten hurt by multiple people. Because like they always say, nice guys don't win. So people try, especially women, they say it all the time, but women try to search for that bad guy. Because at the end of the day, they say they want a nice guy, but they want a bad guy that's going to go to church, but then at the end of the day, want to cock the pistol or something that will go down.
Yep.
So I got
see
different
most women are giving shorter timelines. Most men are saying there's no timeline.
Okay, so with that, because but like Cam is saying, okay, it's not a specific time period, right? Everybody move at different paces, which is true. Brittany said after 9 months, she asked Mike, okay,
What are we doing?
Now after 9 months, she's like, what are we doing? Pam said her daughter said, okay, anywhere between 3 to 6 months.
Okay.
Nika said, I'm like Joan, 3 months. So
Jessica said it took us 16 years.
So and look, but you was already in. Look how long it's.
So
you
what
were
did
in a
Blake say? Well, I
relationship
think I
for
really know you.
16 years before you asked the question. But this is good. So Kiki said, but a title isn't a commitment. So why should there be a time frame? See, that's the thing, Kiki.
Yep.
So some people believe, because I'm asking about titles, because that's what we were talking about, right? But what if a title still doesn't justify you to be committed?
Yep.
What if just because I say this my boyfriend or this my girlfriend, it still does not mean I'm committed to you?
Yep. Do they even do people even say boyfriend and girlfriend anymore?
Yes.
They do?
Yeah.
Okay.
So outside of titles, I want the men that are on here, tell me what actually sets the mood, or what is it that actually justify commitment for you? When do most men think about commitment? When are you ready for commitment? Because we have women on here that really need to know how men think. When do you actually know?
So she asked how
it's
long
time?
it took for. She asked how long it took for us to commit.
I don't know. You tell him, because I found out the other day we weren't committed until you put a ring on it.
Okay, so let's go back to history some. Let's go back to history some. So when we started spending time together, right? And I started understanding your thought pattern and that you were compatible to me. Then I started considering whether or not you were wife material. So when I considered that she was wife material, then she asked me first about the commitment. So she asked the question. We're talking about women are afraid to ask the question. So she asked me a question. She say, this is my circumstance. If I do this and this work out, are we committed to each other? And I took a few days to answer her. And so when I took a few days to answer her, I gave her my commitment and say, yes, we can do this because I feel that you are compatible with me. When I talk about my dreams and my desires, you match my dreams and my desires and what I want to do, and you can help me get there faster. But that's not the only thing. I like your personality. I like your friendship. I like who you are. I like the family you came from. So it took time for me to research all of these things before I made the commitment to her. So we dated when? We started dating from 98. We got married when? 2001?
Yeah, but we were engaged a year before we got married.
So we got engaged a year before, and then we ended up getting married a year after. So our commitment came from, I gave her yes, a lot of time, but then once I saw
He was
that,
cheating. He was still talking to people on the
I
phone.
was,
Even though I didn't have my
She-
engagement ring, he was still talking. That must have been when I caught that chick in the car with you, and I was.
but you didn't have no engagement ring then.
But that's what I'm saying. Is that when I caught
And
that
I
chick
wanna- I
in your
want-
car, and I was about to bust them windows out the car.
But you talk about the circumstance. Look at MJ. But listen, but we weren't engaged then.
But we weren't.
We weren't engaged, and we didn't make no commitment.
Boy,
She
I'm
was
getting my
assuming.
time. I'm getting like, what you doing with this other chick? But right.
But look,
like,
how was I hiding? I'm sitting in the wide open parking lot under the football stadium. What am I trying to hide? I'm not trying to hide nothing. So she walk up to my car like,
Yes.
boom, boom. What are you doing? No, I'm not committed to you. I didn't never tell you that we were committed. We were having phone conversation. We were having situationship. What did Jasmine say? We were having situationship to where we were getting a chance to know each other. But I didn't care who she talked to, and she shouldn't have been caring who I talked to. But because I was giving her the time, she assumed that I should have been committed to her, and which I wasn't.
Yeah.
So, Brandon says, when I invest in you as a person and your future as a whole, then I'm committed until you show me your commitment is not the same anymore.
Right.
Or it's not the same
Big
as
Ching
his.
coming on. He say, when you live together and know each other, this is Big Ching.
That's Melissa.
No, it said this is Big Ching.
Oh, when you
Also-
live together and know each
I
other.
also feel like that men, when they
So he said after they've been living together. So is he saying, so after you live together and know each other, then that's when you can... But what happens when people start living together and then they
Like
find
Ching
out
and
you
Melissa
still
at
ain't...
debate.
You still... I got me and Ching in the house, great debate. But that's what I'm saying.
That still don't mean nothing because if you
But that's
listen,
what I'm saying. Okay, but hold on. Ching and Melissa said after you move into the house with somebody.
that don't mean nothing.
But this is what he's saying. When you get in the house with somebody and you know him, that's when you commit. Boy, you supposed to be committed before I moved up in this piece. You mean to tell me you still trying to figure it out?
But we not married. You give him.
That's okay. Back that up.
You giving me
so
all the
girls,
juice, and I don't have to
wait,
buy the jug.
Stop being stupid. Moving up in these quarters with these people that ain't even committed. Point right there. Thank you for that point, Ching. Because we find that females be moving up in the house, laying up with this dude because she ready for a relationship, and then even when you move in, you gotta move out because he ain't even
What
committed.
bad should I say? What bad should I say?
So other females are allowed to be in the picture if you're not engaged. That was just a dumb mentality.
Right, because again,
That's the way he thought.
If you're not engaged, check this out, Vashti. You know I love you. If you're not engaged and you don't ask the question that you're in a relationship, I'm not talking to nobody else on the phone. Whatever your expectations are, you might have expectations to say, okay, well, you can talk to other females, and I'm gonna talk to other males, but we ain't going no farther than just having friendship. But if you make that the expectations clear and say that, are you committed to me and me only? And this male can properly answer you yes, then yeah, you eliminate all other conversation with all other females. But if he doesn't say yes, now you got a chance to say, okay, what does this really mean? Now you have to make a decision.
But then, Vashti, to answer your question, you do have like 4 men on here through Brandon, Cameron, and somebody else that they don't all think like Doc A.
It's not just Dr. A thinking.
And majority of MJ.
Don't blame it on me.
Like, they all don't think like that. You actually have some that when they commit and say, okay, it's going to be me and you, they actually mean it. The problem is, we just got to have enough sense and use enough time to discern who we talking to. I think the problem is that we never take the actual time to find out who is the person I'm talking to. What kind of man is this am I fooling with? Am I dealing with a man that value commitment and value relationship and value longevity and really want peace of mind and really want a healthy relationship? Or am I fooling with somebody that want to talk to me right now and still testing the waters until he ready to actually get married? That's the problem. We don't really assess to see which one of these people I'm picking. Because in reality, just like Doc A saw me and I saw him, I still had a choice to find out if this was one that I wanted to give my time to.
Yep.
And so even in that, there were options for me to still be talking to people and stuff like that. And I did it for a while. But then once I figured out this is who I want to be with and this is who I like vibing with, I kind of let everybody else go. But I think the problem is, as females, we let go of our side pieces before the men do. And then that's how y'all end up getting stuck on the platter and in positions that you don't need to be in because you move too quick. So we wanted to have this conversation because we wanted to hear a lot of different men perspectives and a lot of different women perspectives, so you can actually see how some people are thinking, how some people are vibing. Because I think we think just because you're saved or just because you're not saved that this is the way a lifestyle is and this is how people move and groove. But reality, there's complications all throughout relationships, whether you saved or not. It's pretty much the same.
It's because women, I feel, most women believe that all men are the same.
And they're not.
And they're not, obviously. All men have different mindsets of how they want to handle things.
Yep.
Like for me, I know the situation I'm in. I know my dad cannot go through the situation. For me, being in a distance relationship.
Oh no.
No.
Exactly. So for me,
Long distance won't work.
It took me a year to actually full throttle commit because I was building my girlfriend. We were building each other for a solid year. I know a lot of people can't commit to somebody that they don't see in person every day on a phone and build through that. And for me, I was able to do it because I realized one, it can help me keep my purity with talking to somebody that's across the states.
14 million people. 14 million.
1,500 miles away. And then building somebody that's on the same mindset as me, it kind of encouraged me to continue with the relationship. So once I saw the person, I realized, okay, men have the mindset that they believe once they find a certain jewel, that they realize that there is no other jewel on this planet that has the same qualifications. They're going to do whatever they can to keep this jewel.
So TK, to answer your question, she says, so is this why males ask why you mad when you find out they're entertaining other females? Exactly. This is exactly why men ask the
why
females,
you mad?
What you mad for?
We're not committed.
When you talking to a guy and you catch him with another text message from another female, he left his phone down by the bed or in the bathroom or on the table, and you see another chick texting him or calling him or leaving him a message or sending him a Snapchat pic, and you pick it up and you like, who is this? What's she doing on here? And he's like, why you on my phone? What you tripping for? It ain't nothing. That lets you know right there. He's not committed. But the thing about that was so baffling to me is that Doc A was even talking to the people this weekend as we were all having this conversation that was really good. He was saying when situations like this, right, you catch your guy and his text message or his phone and another chick pings it or send an image, right, a naked picture, some cross, it come out, you be like, what is this? And you start asking him about this, or even females, you start checking the chick and be like, why this dude texting you? What is it? What is this going on?
You're nasty.
They will start arguing and debating with you and switch it to make you feel like you're guilty and you're wrong for finding the information. They'll make you feel like you're wrong for looking at the text message. They'll make you feel like you're wrong for picking up the phone and answering.
Why you going there
Why?
searching?
And they're like, why
What
you
you looking
searching?
for?
You
What
looking
you
for
looking
trouble,
for?
you gonna find
You gonna
trouble.
look for trouble, you gonna find it. These are all the lies that they tell. Why? Because reality is that you're in a relationship that you think you're committed to that they are not.
I tell you what, women, all my single women, I'm gonna ask you
Jessica
this.
said, no, ain't no asking no phone. Phone
Yeah.
broke and vice.
Right. So I'm gonna ask you all this, women. I'm gonna give you 2 questions to ask your man. Okay?
Well, he said, wait, hold on. Cam said, y'all, women, y'all need to recognize the difference between a male and a man.
True. Very true.
Ooh.
Because there was
Very
nothing.
true.
There was
Male
nothing.
and a man.
There is nothing that
That's
can make
good.
a man commit to you without them actually want to commit to you. Not no baby. Not you can marry a man and he still not commit to you.
Yep.
You can have a kid with a man, he still not commit to you.
Yep.
You can live together and he still not commit. There is nothing that will make a man commit unless he himself stops and says, "Okay, I'm gonna commit to this person."
Reggie said, why you pick his phone up though? You see what I'm talking about? You see,
Yeah.
you fine.
Yeah.
Arnisha says, guys make you feel like you wrong for finding.
Yeah.
Yes.
Look, I'm gonna tell two women. I'm gonna tell the women, if you are dating a man and you want to find out if there is a form of commitment, the first thing to do is ask him for his cell phone password. See if he give it to you. Ask him for his cell phone password and see if he give it to you. The second thing, ask him to commit.
Nah, iPhone smart. It's face scanning. You ain't getting my password. You got shit my face.
Yeah, you see my password don't work, it's on my face. So ask him these things here. Ask him those 2 questions. But if we can categorize the different type of men, okay?
Reggie.
I'm gonna if we can categorize different type of men, and you can probably give the different type of women. So you have a man that may not be afraid of commitment, but he's not ready for commitment. A major difference. He's not afraid of commitment, but he's not ready for commitment. Meaning that some men have the ability to commit to you, but then they feel like they don't have the security and the finances to take care of you. So then they won't give you the ultimate commitment. And then category number 2, you have some men that just straight up, they are just straight up dogs. They don't care. It's their family, it's their background. They won't commit. The third type of male, if I can give you, is a male that he will commit to you right away because he's a person of he just straight up loyalty. Like we have a few men on here, like Cam talked about it, and Brandon, or some of the other men that's just straight up, they just good men. But then you have some men that have been hurt from their past, and now when they're hurt from their past, every single woman that they have, it's really hard for them to trust any other women because of the past situation they were in. So you have to make sure that you gain the trust of a man first. So number one, you have a male that he's not afraid of commitment. He's just not ready for the commitment. Number two, you might have a male that just he want to commit, but financially, I hear a lot of men say this a lot of times with Dr. A or Adrian, Tron, whatever. I just don't have the finances right now to take care of a family. So they're waiting for a career move, but then you're pushing them or forcing them to commit earlier, and they're not ready for it. And then number three, you have men that straight up just dogs depending on the relationship or the family or the culture. I saw Chris put up here that the culture they come from. So if you can wrap it all up, those are the type of men. It's a lot more set of type of DNAs in a man that comes alive, but these are three top type of men that you really can look at. But what we're trying to get you to do tonight is just ask the question. Have the true relationship. Don't assume that this man is committed to you if he hasn't physically said it out of his mouth. Because once a man, a good man, once he physically says it out of his mouth, he's committed. Even a man that are like some of the men on here that are committed and loyal from the beginning, you still want to ask them a question to make sure that you really understand the details of this relationship. So then when you see other things going on, you won't be hurt behind it because he's thinking something different and you're thinking something completely different. But the two levels of commitment are completely different, and it's not aligned.
And what I found out too,
where MJ go?
He had to go cake. He had to go get on the phone with China, so he already committed. So he had to leave us to go get on the phone with his girlfriend. But the women and men both, we are so desperate for relationships. We'll still stay in a relationship even when we know that the person we're with is not committed. Why is that? Why do we still sacrifice our peace and our happiness just to have somebody to lay up next to you, or just to have somebody to tell you how cute and how good you look, or to pay a couple of bills, and then they'll leave you and not show up for another 4 or 5 days because they got to go spread their time with other people. Mm-hmm. But they'll now come back and be like, but you know I love you, right? You know you my number one. You my number one.
But he got 2 and 3.
But he got 5 and 6. Like, I know people like that I had a friend whose daddy was a Rolling Stone. Like, I used to hear that Papa was a Rolling Stone. Like, this dude had families all in the same city. Like, all the kids knew each other.
She said, I never asked. And we will be married in August. Let me go see him.
Right, but see, that's what I'm saying, Tasha. So, see, you've never even thought to ask this question, and you're about to get married.
Look what Desai said. Make sure before you ask the question that you're ready to commit yourself. So we're talking about all the men. Okay, let's talk about the women and their commitment. Let's talk about the women and their commitment. We've been hogging the men and talk about why men can't connect, why men don't commit. When was it in your mindset that you was committed to me? Were you committed from the beginning?
No, I wasn't committed to you in the beginning because I still had hopes I was going to be with my baby daddy. That never worked out. So it was not in the beginning. It was later on. After we had been talking for a while, and I was like, what are we doing? Because I'm not a time waster. And I think I seen this on the thing where people was like, I don't have time to waste. There are women out here who know, for instance, me, I had a child at 20. So for me, I didn't have time to be playing games, talking about dating somebody. I knew I wanted to be a wife, and I knew that I had to have somebody to help me raise my son. Mm-hmm. So if I'm talking to you and spending time with you and I'm vibing with you, because like even I didn't even let him see my son up front. I just didn't play them kind of games until I knew we was going to be serious. Yep. And so even after we talked, we met at a homecoming in December. I think within about 4 to 6 months. Mm-hmm. I think about 4 to 6 months for me is when I was like, okay, I'm vibing with this one. I think I want to be committed with him. So I think somewhere between around May time, it was because before we got out for spring. So I think May, around 6 months. I think within about 6 months, I thought that's when I was like committed. But then that's when he was still going back home, seeing his old girlfriend, and he come back to again. Like he had a whole lot of other stuff he was working with. But for me, it was 6 months. But as like I was saying, you still have women that don't even commit. They'll play with guys' emotions, And is it because now that women, are we switching to where it's like guys been doing it for so long, it's time for us to do us and play the field like they doing it? Is that
But
that
women
what's
always
going
play
on?
the field. It's not a thing that they're just now switching up.
Well-
Women has always been playing the field. Women are.
Well, that's true. We could be talking to a lot of people.
Right.
We don't necessarily have to be intimate.
And the thing is about women can be not committed, but the men will never know because we just don't care, or we just dumbfounded behind the whole entire situation.
Jessica said that was her. She said, Tasha, that was me years ago. I planned the wedding and all he did was show up. And she said, what I've learned in 16 years, you have to let the man be the man. You can't push. When he was ready, he will commit. So how long, Jessica? How long? So you said 16 years. So you talked to a person how long before he actually committed to you? How long did it take the person that you were willing to be with? How long did it actually take for him to actually commit to you? And some of you that are on here in relationships now, how long did it take for you to commit to your person or the male to commit to you? Some of y'all might not even still. Reggie, are you committed?
Reggie who?
Reggie Pope.
Oh, you just call your cousin out like
Reggie, are
that.
you committed? Are you in a relationship? Some of my guys on here, like, what's going on? Like, are y'all committed?
Yep.
Oh, so 16 years. So it took 16 years before he actually committed.
Were you married at the 16 years? Did it take you 16 years to get married?
What did he say? She said 16
She hasn't
years.
replied
So,
back yet. When we got married.
so Pam said when they got married, then that's when they committed. I think it took both of them that long to commit. We wanted security to get married. Okay.
Reggie said I'm here for the comments. Come on, man. Reggie, come on, dog. He said I'm here for the comment. See? He can't even commit to commenting on Facebook Live. You see? Reggie Pope can't even commit to commenting on Facebook Live. You see? That's men.
No, that's some men. All men are not like that. That's some men. That's some men. That's some men.
I still tell my daughters that they don't have to commit until they are married. Absolutely. I will always tell my daughters and my son, listen, if you're not married and you're not sure, like my son seems like he's already like 93% already in there. So, but I tell them it's okay to still have friends just to make sure that this person is the one that you want to commit to, because you may have one other person that you may miss. Not saying to have sex with them, but I'm saying to still have friends.
But I don't agree with that, because I'm like Pam. Okay, she's like, not until you get married, you
Yep.
don't commit. But what about during the engagement? Why waste your time talking to somebody?
I'm just say 98%.
Oh, you
You're trying to smooth on here because your girl on here.
You won't change when you tolerate. That's true. You have to know when you're willing to compromise. So my thing is, why do you go through all of this dating, right, with somebody, and then you plan an engagement that you're still not committed to? So when he's like, well, you still can talk to other people until you get engaged, until you get married, so that you can make sure it's the one. To me, now you're taking up my time. Now you have somebody else that you're giving attention to, that you're concentrating on, that you're not even concentrating on me. So at any moment, at any time, what I'm thinking we're about to plan together as a future, you have these side chicks, which is why they got these side chick songs.
Yeah.
You got these side chicks now making their way into a sacred, committed relationship that can deter you before you even get to the aisle. So you mean to tell me I've talked to you for 2 years, invested 2 years worth of time, energy, and space for you to still be deciding at the time we get ready to walk to the altar whether you want to be with me? Now you lying. Now that's the lie within the truth. You looking at me in the face like you telling the truth, but that is a lie. You are not committed. And that's the thing. You have to understand that there is no commitment. That is called manipulation.
Yep.
And what I'm finding out is that women are getting engaged and they're walking down the aisles with manipulation. They think they're walking down the aisle with their future, but when they say I do, they're saying I do to manipulation. When they say I do, they're saying I do to mistrust. When they say I do, they saying I do to a stranger that they don't even know who they marrying, because the guy ain't finna commit until he finishes saying I do.
Absolutely. You got
That
it.
is so
You got
weird.
it. The same, yeah, it's weird, but it happens, and that's why divorce happens, and it's why women get into relationships and they end up hurting. So somebody asked the question too as well. So when I ask my son, and I would ask my daughters the same exact thing. When I check their response, just like my son, I asked him the same exact question, and I'm gonna ask him this at least once or twice a year until he get married. But when he can respond to me with confidence and say 98%, I'm in there, Daddy, then to me, that's showing that he's committed and he's not going nowhere. So he's putting forth the effort, the time, and he's preparing himself structurally in his mindset to be a husband in the future. So when I say that, and I ask the question, and I ask other men the same exact thing, are you really committed to her? It's okay to keep your options open, again, not to have sex with other women. It's okay to have friends and to talk and to go out to dates and have coffee with people. And they tell me, Dr. A, no, I don't want to do that. Then I know at that point that they are committed. And then when I know that they are committed, now I can begin to take them to the next level to prepare them to be a husband, to marry a wife. But if they say, oh yeah, okay, I think I'm going to do that, I think I do wrong, it's already in their heart. The only thing I'm trying to do is shed light on them. Not me giving them advice to go and do this, but me just checking and having them to check the inner being. Because once you say, I do, and I'm in this thing, you're in this thing forever. It's not no breaks. You're not getting out. So before you go into this thing, you better make a decision right now that this is what you want to do for the rest of your life, right, until death do you part. So make the decision now. Keep your options open. Go and talk to other women. Go have conversations. Talk to other people. Have other friends. Don't just shut yourself off real fast, because if you're not sure, then you're committing to something that you really not sure that this is the one.
And see, there's a difference in, so what is commitment? Commitment is a decree. A commitment is when you declare and you say, okay, I am going to lock in, or I am going to be solely focused on this thing. This means committed. That means there's no turning around. That means there's no second guessing. This means my yes and my yes and my no is my no. You should commit before marriage, so when you do get married, you know how to stay. Exactly.
Absolutely.
That's the whole purpose of this
that's why the question.
Conversation is going on, because we're counseling so many people, and we're talking to so many people that are in relationship camp that have never even posed or asked a question to the other person whether or not they are committed to each other. Yep. They're going on assumptions, but they have not asked the right questions. Yep. And so you want to make sure you ask the right questions. Ask as many questions. Ask direct questions. I think we don't ask direct questions. We say, well, it's too early. I don't really want to push him away, or I don't want to scare him, or I don't want to seem intimidating. Well, it sounds like you don't care about your time. It sounds like you got a lot of time you don't mind wasting when you don't ask. No, that's just me.
No, but I'm saying, but you want to ask him that question the first date.
We asked a lot.
Not the first date.
Not the first date, because like our son Destin, right? He is looking for someone to court, date, whatever. And so he's in the process. So we're telling him, okay, we'll talk to as many people as you want.
Almost 20 years, homie.
Because he hasn't committed to anybody, because he's trying to find what he's looking for in a female. That's different. He's just talking and engaging, being social. That's different than actually committing. But after he's finished socializing with all of these different people, it doesn't make him a hoe. Same thing with a female. Females talk to different people. It doesn't make you a hoe until you start sleeping with them. I ain't tell you to sleep with them. I said entertain them. Ask the questions. Find out where their headspace is. Find out where they're going. And don't just stop with vision. Oftentimes people say, okay, get a guy that has vision. You don't want to stop with vision, because if all he has is vision but no skills and no structure, he'll never go nowhere. You want to go past vision. You want to say, okay, outside of your vision, what are you doing to prepare for your vision? If all you're doing is dreaming and planning and guessing and assuming, you don't have any strategies. Do you have strategies to go with your vision? So in the process of you entertaining people on the telephone, or going to jazz places, or going to movies and things like that, that's different. You need to do that because you need to know what you're looking for. You need to know what you like and what you don't like. You need to outline what you want in a man and what you want in a female. And you need to be able to look past the perfume, look past the cologne, look past the big booty, look past the muscles, look past the bow legs, look past the pretty skin and the beautiful long hair, the nails, look past all of that. Get in their mind. And see what is the makeup of this person. Do they show up on time? If they can't show up on time, that shows you the value of commitment. Start looking at stuff. Can they choose on the menu what they want, or are they always indecisive? Do they change late in this game? Like, there are things that you can assess as young adults. You are smart. You have all this technology that keeps you abreast on all the things that's going on, except for when it gets to relationship, you take your brain off and you sit it down and you get comfortable and relax and think it's going to work itself out. No, you got to work your relationship, or your relationship is going to work you, and you're going to be stressed.
Yep. So you said, so from the women perspective, what else do they need to ask? You said to ask for past division. So what do you mean asking for past division? What would be questions so you can help the women out? Well, because I don't think
so. Okay, so past vision, right? So if somebody says, "Oh, I want to be a business owner," right? Oh, so what are you gonna do? So what do you want to do? What do you want to be? Oh, I want to start my own music school, and okay, well, what do you do now? Oh, I'm a carpenter. But you said you want to do music school, right? Oh yeah, I'm gonna have my own studio and I'm gonna do this. Okay, so what do you do outside of carpenting? How do you do anything outside of working as a carpenter? Oh no, I just build and I just.
What are they
so you
doing
got
to
a
build
vision,
up to that
but
vision?
you have no strategy to get to where you're going.
Yep.
So you're a carpenter, but you want to be a music mogul, but you have no studio. You work on no music after hours. You don't even have connections with people in the music business. All you do is nail, build, and you want to be a music mogul?
Yep.
You got vision but no strategies. Now you're talking to somebody that's about to waste your time, because all they're going to do is come up with plans and no actions. You see what I'm saying? That's how you go past vision. Don't just date vision. For years, people say, get a man with vision. He want to take you somewhere. Well, when he take you somewhere, can he provide for you when you get there? Or are you going to have to provide for him?
So give them, so real quick, before we look at that, go give
So we got to get out. Man, it's still
but still on. But you got to, you got to give.
I'm saying what people saying.
I'm saying, but you need to give them the
I just
question.
gave them.
You gave them a statement. Give them 3 questions to ask a man that can create the conversation. Give them 3 questions. The first thing you ask them is vision. The second thing you said, okay, what are you doing to build your vision? Okay, I'll give one. What's your credit score? What's your credit score? Your credit score
People don't want to
125?
talk about credit score.
Why not? If
Because they're scared. Well, most of them know when they look at a person, they can tell what their credit score looks like.
Not really.
Most of the time, you can look at a person and tell they broke.
No, you can't. Not if you have a man that drive up in a brand new BMW and smell good and look
Most
good.
of them ain't
and
dating people
everything on
driving.
credit.
Most of them ain't dating people with
Okay,
BMWs.
so give them another thing to ask the women. What can you ask the women to make sure? What can you tell the women to make sure that they ask the right questions when they sit down? Because somebody just said here, she just asked the question, how do I know what question to ask? I've been married for 2 years, but we have been together for over 6 years, and random things come up, and then they ask. I find it hard to know what question to ask because I've never been in love, and it's so rare of a happy marriage in my life. So how do you know to ask the right questions? Answer that question.
How do you know what to ask? I've been married for 2 years, but we have been together for over 6 years. And randomly things come up, and then they are asked. I found it hard to know what questions to ask because I've never been in love, and so it's rare of happy marriages in my life. Okay, what do you first have to identify? What do you want in your own marriage before you can ask any questions? Chanel, you actually need to address yourself. Talk to yourself and say, okay, what does marriage look like to me? I know what I wanted my marriage to look like, so I can create and put questions based off of what I'm expecting. If you've been with a person for 6 years, there's something in this relationship that you have been expecting. You have been desiring. So you have to base your questions off of, what are we doing? What are our plans together? What do you see us doing in the future, and how will we get there? What do you see us doing outside of our kids if you have kids? What makes you happy when I'm with you? What makes you sad when I'm not with you? You need to get inside of this person's head and find out whether or not they value. Because just because you're with the person for 6 years doesn't mean that they actually value. They can, but they may not after a while. Why? Because you've never intrigued them enough to make them even desire to miss you. I know people that don't even give their spouses an opportunity to miss them. So ask yourself, what is it that you're looking for, so that when you can say, okay, this is what I want. See, what I do now is I always have people check themselves, because I can't give you an answer that only you can answer.
Very good.
You know that. You know what you want your marriage to look like. You know what you are preparing, what you set yourself up when you married this guy. What was your expectations? Be real with yourself. What were your expectations? And then talk. Like, we have conversations all the time.
Yep.
I be trying to catch him in the lie all the time. We'll go back to when we first started dating. I'd be like, so you remember when you talked to this person? I be trying to catch him up in the lie, see if he gonna remember, if he not. And somehow he still had the same answer. So he been passing so far. But I'm not afraid to ask the question.
Yep.
Did you sleep with this person? They said you did this. Did you do this? And he'd be like, girl, no. So you have to not be scared to ask the question.
But this is the key. But this is what I want to set up. This when I tell men, and for me, I never asked the question because I didn't want to know. But some women, when you ask the question, this is key. When you ask the question and you get the answer that you didn't want to hear, be prepared for the truth. Because if you want the man to give you the truth, the last thing you can do is for him to tell you the truth, and then you get all up and mad, you get pissed off. He will never want to give you the truth again because he tried to be honest with you because you asked the question. So be prepared. And I'm not saying that if you ask a man for commitment and he say, no, I'm not ready to commit, and then you just turn away from a relationship, find out why don't you want to commit right now. He might say, I think it's too early because I want to get a chance to know you. I haven't even met your family. I don't know what you like to do. We don't even know each other. We haven't even really created the chemistry for us to work together yet. So just because you ask the question or you ask him for the commitment and he says no, then it doesn't mean that the relationship is dead. It just gives you the expectation of how much time will I give towards this person in reference to this relationship. So you don't set yourself up for failure. So keep it at that level. So you know that if I can keep it at this level and I know he's not ready for commitment, then what does that mean for me? What does our relationship mean? So we're just going to be friends. We're going to hang out. So now, whenever Tyrone calls you, you know that Tyrone is the person who called me that said he's not ready to commit, but I know that I still like Tyrone. He has some type of tendencies in him that I like. They can blame me, but I really can't force him to be committed until I see that he says it out of his mouth for me again.
And give yourself time. You give yourself a timeline.
Yep.
Don't be waiting on Tyrone for 14 years.
No, absolutely not.
Don't be waiting on Vicky for 7 years. Cam said here, I asked Georgia questions that had to do with mothering and nurturing and what is a comfortable life for her. Also, what was expectation for me as her man.
Very good.
So this was somebody who knew coming into a relation with somebody what he wanted. He was ready to settle down.
Yep.
You're going to have some men that when they start talking to people, they are ready to settle down.
Yep.
It's just the way nature is. You're going to find women who are ready to settle down.
Yep.
And you're going to find men that need a little bit more time.
Yep.
And you're going to find women that are going to need a little bit more time. The thing is, you have to be so in love with yourself that you stop putting up with foolishness and wasting important time. Know what you want. Set guidelines, set procedures and boundaries and expectations, and be open with the communications. And when you say, Tyrone, I'm giving you 3 years to make a decision.
Yep.
Are we going to commit to one another? We've been doing this thing for 2 years. What's going on? If you said I'm giving you 3 years, at 3 years, when it gets 2 months to the end of that 3 years, and he hadn't made a thing of no type of movement, no type of nothing toward what you had set in expectations, you better already be packing your bags and up and ready to catch the next ship up out of there. Why? Because often what happens is when the 3 year hit at 11:59 going into the 3 year, you still holding on with hope. And he told you 6 months ago he wasn't ready, but you believe that somehow at 11:59
You asked for prayer.
you at 11:59, you still believing, though he told you 6 months ago he wasn't moving on 3 years, you still waiting and believing and talking about someone why he won't commit. No, why you won't move on. Why you won't be real with yourself and say you playing a game with yourself. Because oftentimes we want to blame the men and want to blame the women and say they leading us on. But truth within the lie that you're telling yourself is that you're really leading yourself on.
Yep.
You're living a life full of false expectations that you are expecting somebody to follow that only you can control.
Yep.
So we've had a great conversation. I hope y'all enjoyed. This has been awesome. I got a lot of conversations. This is a no. Alyssa said this is a no foolishness zone. Vash, I said, where are the single men who know who they are and what they want? Jesus, girl, ask for them, girl. Fajery said, my heart have been broken so much, I'd rather be single. And that happens. That happens. Chanel says, the one thing that I loved about my husband is that when things did come up, he was very honest.
Very good.
If it's things I didn't expect, he doesn't lead me to deception. So
Very
that's
good.
the thing. If you know he's honest, then basically all you have to do, Chanel, is ask the right questions. You're not asking the right questions. And you have to be ready to get the answers because you have a husband that will not lie to you. So he's not a manipulator and he's not giving you a lie within the truth. You're just not asking the right questions.
Reggie Poker asks, does dating multiple people make it harder to commit? Absolutely.
Yes,
it does.
That's a great question.
Yep.
Yes, it does. How can you commit to me when you're thinking about 3 other people?
Yep.
How can I commit to you when I'm thinking about 3 other people?
Yep.
If I'm going to a restaurant and they only serve me 1 meal, I eat what they give me. But if I go to a restaurant and they bring me 3 or 4 other entrees out to choose from, I'm going to say, can I just have a sample of each one of them and decide which one was the best? And then it was like, oh, but this was good, but I like this one too. But so I'm going to keep eating out. But if I'm only presented one and I choose one, then it's easier for me to flow with. So I think it is very hard to just be in a committed relationship, but yet talk to multiple people.
Yep.
Is there a difference between a committed relationship and a covenant? This is what Rosemary said.
You want me to answer that?
I want you to answer that because
the only way that there's a covenant is a lifetime contract between 2 individuals or a community of people. So the only way you can have a covenant in a relationship is in a marriage. So what was the other one? A committed relationship, for me, a committed relationship is when a man and a woman, they verbally say out of their mouth that I'm committed to you and you're committed to me. They can say it verbally. But then if I say it verbally, then sooner or later, not 12 years, some type of action to move to the next level in that commitment needs to take place. And the action should be to where if I say that I'm committed to you and we're together, then sooner or later, some type of engagement, some type of sign, some type of action needs to take place. Now the next step would be the covenant, which is the contract for life, to death do us part. So there's a major difference between a committed relationship and a covenant. A covenant, once you're in the covenant, you can never break that covenant. Once you're in a committed relationship, that can be it can be manipulated just a little bit.
Well, not even manipulated. To me, I think the difference for me, from my perspective, is with a committed. When you're committed in a relationship, most of the times we're only committed until things start going good.
Very good.
And with the committed relationship,
start going bad.
No, we're in a relationship.
Until they start going good.
As long as it's going good, we're in the relationship.
Okay.
But when it starts going bad, then with the committed relationship, we have a way to opt out.
We have options.
We can opt out in a committed relationship when things go sour. When you don't appease me anymore, when you stop giving me what I want, when you start doing your crazy stuff, because we're committed, but I can take a knee out. I can buy out.
Yep.
But when a covenant, see, the difference is I think we get committed and covenant confused. A covenant is a vow made between you, that person, and God. That's what marriage is really about. Marriage is not just saying I do. Marriage is the signification of covenant. That's what you're supposed to be doing, is you're supposed to be now in covenant with one another, which means no matter what, hell come high water, it's me and you against the world. We're not letting nothing come up in here because we are covenant. We have become one. We have vowed. We've linked up together. We are secured and we got each other's back no matter what. There is no way nothing is coming up in between this because we got each other back. We back to back. But when we have a committed relationship and not a covenant relationship, then when you stop doing things that make me happy, I can bag out because I was only committed to what you were doing for me. But when you stop doing those things, I don't have to be committed to you anymore.
Alyssa stated very good. A commitment is a relationship between 2 people. A covenant is between 3 people. God, you, and your spouse. I love that. Very good.
Very good.
The next time we talk, this will take us on another 2 hours. But I want to ask the question for you all. I want to put it on your mindset before you go to sleep. Why in a committed relationship? If you know a male and a female, and of course, before we always counsel people, we always tell them that everything we talk about is going to come from a biblical standpoint, and we tell them to not have sex. Why do people in committed relationships, they still decide to have sex, and they still go through the motions, and then they're really even more attached to this relationship before they even get to the covenant. So why do they have sex? Because they feel like, you're stopping me from enjoying this. Well, what we're trying to get people to see is that if I don't have sex as a part of the DNA, as a part of the chemistry, then the true chemistry can work out. And then once we have a covenant, then sex is a bonus check on top of it. So that'll be the next conversation that we'll talk about.
Maybe we'll do it on Thursday.
Maybe we'll do it on Thursday. Oh, you calling me back?
Yeah, I'll call you back on Thursday. I think he's walking back to the closet on Thursday. Y'all think I should let Doc A back in the closet on Thursday? I think I'll let him back in the closet on Thursday.
All good. It's family series, so this is what we do. That's good. Covenant is a promise in all things. So it's your nightcap.
Thank y'all for joining. I hope you guys enjoyed this. I hope this was information that really helped you start assessing things and start actually taking more time to figure out what you want in your relationships and stop wasting time. That's it. Just basically, it's no more time for games. Be honest with yourself and ask the right questions. Look at who you're connecting to and ask the right questions. So thank you so much for talking with us.
If you're in Houston, anybody
Shaka said, let MJ, want me to bring MJ back on Thursday too? If he doesn't have to work, we'll bring MJ back too. We'll bring MJ back. We'll bring Doc A back on Thursday. Thank y'all so much for being with us. We love you. We appreciate you.
And if you're in the Houston area, come and be a part of what we're doing in the city. 2 o'clock swag service.
He did.
21402 Merchant Way. Come and holler at us. 2 o'clock swag service on Sunday. You don't want to miss Family Series. Everybody, just like they say, all black people know somebody in Chicago. Everybody, white, black, Hispanic, know somebody in Houston. Tell somebody in Houston to come and be a part of what we're doing in the city. We would love to have
I don't know if I need to let Doc A back. Can you write Shaka? MJ had on his nightcap coming up in here, but he done strolled up in here with nothing on his head like he the kingpin up in here.
Well, you reach your head out the door and ask me last minute you want me to join.
So your husband threw your cap on coming up and see how he ain't committed. He ain't committed.
I came in on my water, you kicked me out my water.
He ain't committed. He ain't come up in here with nothing.
That's what happened. You asked me last minute. I'm heading to the gym. She reached her head out the door when I'm heading out to the gym.
That's another topic. They commit to things they want to do.
Absolutely.
Even to go to the gym at 11 o'clock
commit
tonight.
To each
they
one
commit to what they want to commit to.
Absolutely.
He won't commit to cleaning, but he'll commit to going to the gym.
Hold on. I'm cleaning my stuff now.
He's cleaning his cars, but I ain't asked him to do it. There's something he
to
wants do. They will do what they want to do. So, thank you, Uncle Carl. We pray complete
I'm gonna get that boat, Uncle Carl. Don't forget.
I pray that God will bless you and everything in your body will line up and you will be completely healed. Your blood will flow the way it's supposed to flow, and that the stresses and the tensions of your body will be released in Jesus' name. God, I thank you for everybody on Nightcap tonight. I pray the peace of God upon them. I thank you for great conversation. I thank you for great love. I thank you for great insight. And I pray that you allow each and every one of them to sleep well and wake up with new adventures, new dreams, new strategies, and new systems to go out and create the world they desire. I pray blessings upon them, and I pray they have a wonderful night in Jesus' name. Good night, everybody.
Good night. Love you all.
He ain't in order.
Listen, he's supposed to be on my side. He's supposed to be on my side, Alyssa.
He all out of order.
No, we brought morning prayer and nightcap together. So I'm wake up in my wake up shirt and I don't wear no nightcap. So we merged together. What you say? I'm waiting, Doctor. Absolutely, that boat coming. Larry and Pam, I ain't seen you all in 15,000 years.
Don't start lying to my neck. Don't start
Larry and Pam, where y'all at?
See, I gotta get
we ain't seen y'all in a long time. Larry and Pam.
Good night, Shantae.
Everybody in the city, come and see us. We love you all.